In this video, we're going to look at the economics of the dominant firm model. So we have a market where the world demand is given by the following equation: 320 divided by the price raised to the power of 1/2. And in this market, there is a bunch of small firms that are price takers, and collectively the supply of the smaller firms looks like this: 10/3 times price to the 1/2 power. There is a dominant firm, and the dominant firm sets the price in this market. The dominant firm is a price setter, and for simplicity, we're going to assume the dominant firm has zero marginal cost of production. The dominant firm sets price by taking into account the supply response of the smaller firms to its price. The dominant firm's demand is a residual demand. It's going to be the difference between the world demand and the supply of the smaller competitive firms. So plugging that in here, those two equations. The next thing we're going to get is the dominant firm's revenue, which is price times quantity. So we got the dominant firm's demand expressed as a function of price, and we're just going to multiply that by P. So we got revenue here as a function of price. Rewriting that condition, and then I'm just going to multiply this P that's outside parentheses through the terms that are inside the parentheses, and we get this result. Following the rules of exponents, P divided by P to the 1/2 is going to be 320P raised to the 1/2 power, and then P times P to the 1/2 is P to the 1.5 or 3/2 power. Now we're going to maximize, so we're going to take the derivative of the revenue equation with respect to price and set that derivative equal to 0. So bringing the 1/2 down in front here, 320 times 1/2 is 160. And then on this exponent here in the price term, 1/2 minus 1 leaves P raised to the minus 1/2 power. The next part of this derivative, we're going to bring this 3/2 down in front, and that'll just leave us with 10 divided by 2, or 5. There is a minus in front here, so it's minus 5. And then from this exponent here in this price term, we're going to subtract 1, leaving us with P raised to the 1/2 power. Again, that's all set equal to 0, and so now we're going to solve for P. So moving some things around, and then here I'm going to divide through by P raised to the minus 1/2 power, so dividing through by P raised to the minus 1/2 power. We'll get just 160 on the left-hand side, and the right-hand side will just be P. P to the 1/2 divided by P to the minus 1/2 simplifies to P, following the rules of exponents. And now dividing through by 5, we have a price of $32. So the dominant firm will set a price of $32. The smaller firms will take that as a given and bring forth their market supply. So plugging this 32 into the world demand, the total world demand is going to be almost 57 units. The supply of the smaller firms, plugging this $32 into the supply equation of the smaller firms will collectively bring almost 19 units to the market. The difference between these two quantities is how much the dominant firm will produce. So the dominant firm's output, again, is the difference between these two numbers, or almost 38 units of output. Okay, I hope you found this video helpful.